New adventures, new discoveries. On today's agenda, Annecy. We will also show you 3 other nearby places, so stay tuned until the end. Annecy is known for its animation film festival and its famous lake. To get a good view of it, we head to Col de la Forclaz at an altitude of 1150 meters. The lake is 14.6 kilometers long, with a width from 800 to 3,300 meters, making it the second largest lake in France after Lake Bourget, which we will discover later. On the outskirts of the city, we discover the Duin Castle. This medieval fortress, dating back to the 11th century, is located on a peninsula in the heart of Lake Annecy. Known as a Peninsula of Imagination, it's now a place dedicated to art, where artists, researchers and philosophers come together. Surprisingly, the lake provides drinking water to the city. Despite being situated in an urbanized region, Lake Annecy stands out as one of the most purest lakes in Europe. Its blue-green color comes from the lozes, volcanic stones that cover the bottom of the lake. A true postcard-worthy sight, the city with its 4 bell towers is home to some architectural treasures. And speaking of bell towers, let's discover the Church of Saint-François, which is inspired by the Italian Church of Jesus in Rome. The facade is divided into 2 superimposed levels crowned by a triangular pediment. White, golden and green arcades adorn the interior of the building. 7 Baroque altarpieces adorn the chapels. The altarpiece of the main altar is inspired by the original one that has disappeared. This church is a fine example of Counter-Reformation architecture. As we exit the church, we catch a glimpse of the Palais de Lille. It sits on a triangular island on the Thiou Canal, and its fanciful turrets are intriguing. Built in the 12th century, it was initially a lordly residence before becoming a courthouse and eventually a prison. Today, this famous monument serves as an exhibition space of the architecture and heritage of the Annecy region, allowing visitors to learn more about the history of the city. Annecy is both elegant, mountainous, and waterside, blessed with its geographical location. Located in the heart of the Alps, in an economically privileged region at the crossroads of Lyon and Milano, it has it all. The Old Town is best explored on foot, and it's a city of art and history with an exceptional living environment. It's no wonder that the city is nicknamed the Venice of the Alps. One can get lost in the maze of medieval alleyways and head towards the heights of the city to discover the famous castle. Listed as a historical monument in 1959, it was once the residence of the Counts of Geneva. Transformed over the centuries, it presents a unique combination of medieval defensive architecture and elegance inspired by the castles of the Île-de-France. Acquired by the city of Annecy in 1953, it has since housed a museum with varied temporary exhibitions and collections related to regional heritage, lake archaeology, medieval sculpture, landscape paintings, contemporary art, and animation movies. Hear the birds and see the sun. We then make our way to the Cathedral of Saint-Pierre in the heart of the city. Oh, the good times just begun. It's a remarkable church from the 16th century that combines different architectural styles. It has an imposing Renaissance facade that contrasts sharply with its Gothic interior. With 3 naves and 5 bays, the whole cathedral is quite dark, and it's early in the morning or in the evening when the light is most beautiful inside. We continue to explore the city further, and it's undeniable that wandering through Annecy is an absolute pleasure. We are taking the charm of the Canal Notre-Dame with its pretty bridges and old buildings. We walk along the quay to reach the Church of Notre-Dame, of which we catch a glimpse of the back of the monument. In the city center, we discover the Church of Our Lady of Liesse. It was founded and built in the second half of the 14th century on the site of an old oratory and a medieval square near a hospice. At that time, this place had a strong religious character. In 1793, the choir was destroyed by the revolutionary municipality's desire to create a place of liberty suitable for hosting large popular gatherings. The current church was built between 1846 and 1851 on the heavily damaged original sanctuary, of which some elements were preserved: the 14th century bell tower and the Gothic window on the south wall. Also, a large part of the square in front of the church is preserved. The Church of St. Maurice, on the other hand, is one of the oldest churches in the region, a masterpiece of Savoyard Gothic architecture from the early 15th century. The original structure, a Dominican chapel, built around 1422 above the canal of the same name, was gradually expanded in the 15th and 16th centuries. The building also has special historical significance, as it's believed to be where Saint Francis de Sales, Bishop of Geneva, made his first communion before serving as a priest there. The Bridge of Lovers is located between the Esplanade of Paquier and the Gardens of Europe, dating back to 1863. It's hard to miss when strolling along the shores of the lake. The Bridge of Lovers is a must-visit landmark in the city of Annecy. Facing the boat on the quays of the Passé Canal, sheltered by the surrounding century-old trees, the setting is perfectly romantic, and the bridge is one of the symbols of the city. In fact, it was selected among the official wallpapers of Windows 7. A few meters from the shore, you can catch a glimpse of the tiny island, the Isle of Swans. This small lush island was built in the mid-19th century. Geneva and the House of Savoie offered the first couples of swans of the city, and they made their home on the island, thus giving it its name. As for the name Bridge of Lovers, it's said to come from the fact that it was a place for meeting sex workers in the city. Today, this bridge remains a highly frequented passage in an absolutely romantic setting with magnificent views of the city, canals and lake. As such, the bridge is a romantic place that shouldn't be missed by couples in love. Urban legend also says that those who kiss in the middle of the bridge will stay together for life. And on this romantic note, we leave the city of Annecy to head towards Aix-les-Bains. On our way, we stop at the Abyss Bridge, which allows us to cross the Chéran River. It's a suspension bridge with a span of 64 meters and a height of 96 meters, dating back to 1887. Impressive. For a little anecdote, on the night of August 15-16, 1944, to prevent the destruction of the bridge by German soldiers, the residents of the area dismantled all the oak planks and hid them in barns and huts. Located on the shores of Lake Bourget, the town of Aix-les-Bains is known for its thermal bath. Just 30 minutes from Annecy, the heart of the city is where you'll find the Place des Thermes, as well as the town hall. The city center is easily explored on foot, where you can discover the Church of Notre Dame, dating back to the late 19th century.
Although it hurts me, be with
Taking a leisurely stroll through the town, we then head to the magnificent Lake Bourget, considered the largest natural glacial lake in France. We end our day by visiting Chambery. We start our tour of the city at the Château de Chambery, a fortress, prince palace, and emblem of the power of the counts and dukes of Savoie. The castle of Chambery is a remarkable collection of buildings constructed from the 13th century to the present day. Today, it houses the prefecture and the Savoie department. We continue our walk on the pedestrian-only Place Saint-Léger, taking in the colorful facades that surround it. The narrow streets and small passages along the square allow us to discover architectural treasures from the medieval period. The Cathedral of Saint-François de Sales is impressive and unique. With its specialty of Chambery, trompe-l'œil paintings adorning its interior. In fact, it's the largest collection of trompe-l'œil paintings in Europe, covering over 6,000 square meters. We now head to the Elephant's Place, where we discover a majestic fountain, the Fountain of Elephants. You may wonder why there are elephants in Chambery. Well, it's simply to represent the success of General Dubois in India, which is depicted at the top of the column. This same general, who made his fortune in Asia, returned to Chambery and modernized the city center, creating, for example, the Rue des Arcades, now Rue de Boigne. He is considered the great benefactor of Chambery. We end our visit at the Parc du Clos Savoie, which houses the Monument of the Dead of Chambery. And on the way to the car, we admire the impressive building of the Justice Palace. See you next time for new discoveries.